I always end my podcast with get outside and get out of other people's business, because a lot of times we want to look at what everybody else doing and where they're going and doom scroll on social media. But why not us? The life we're seeing in front of us for everybody else, why not you? Why not me? So, yeah.
This episode of Grounded in Maine is sponsored by ESG Review. ESG Review magazine is published quarterly in February, May, August, and November, and is available for free in print and digital formats. ESG Review is devoted to environmental, social, and governance strategies, technologies, and investments. ESGreview.net is updated every Wednesday with 8 new stories and is home to feature articles, news items, and more. Visit esgreview.net to stay informed and help us spark the collaboration and awareness needed to develop sustainable economies and communities around the world.
There's a place where there's no trouble, no more pain, no more struggle.
Grounded in Maine podcast is an open conversation about how we show up for the world. I started this podcast out of a desire to learn new ways to be sustainable because the word sustainability is big. It can be overwhelming, and I just wanted to learn, different ways to try to be part of the solution and not feel like it's too late. So I'm talking to people who are doing different things and learning so much. I hope you are too. Hi there. Thank you so much for listening to Grounded in Maine today. My name is Amy Fagan, and I have a guest today. Her name is Alyce Rose, and Alyce has 2 businesses. Well, she's got a podcast and a business, and they are sort of connected, and we're going to get into that. But Alyce, thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you for having me.
The business that we're talking about is called Ms Thrifty Rose, but that stemmed from your podcast, which is called Auntie Outside. And do you say auntie or auntie? Is it auntie?
Auntie.
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 I'm from the Northeast.
I got it at Podfest a lot. I was like, I never thought about it that way, but they do say auntie up there. So, yeah.
Anyway, so Ms Thrifty Rose is, clearly thrifted clothes, but you...
So I am in Jacksonville, Florida. That's where I'm based at. And I started Auntie Outside as like content creation and covering events and activities in the city and just really going out and having a good time, enjoying life. And through that, people would say, 1, oh, you always outside. And I'm like, yeah, well, But 2, they would say, where do you shop? You look amazing. This is not normal. This is not just in the store off the rack. And I would tell them I thrifted. But a lot of times when I would go out, my best outfits, glasses matched, everything put together was so people would just say, oh, you look great, and not say, how are you? Because if you say, how are you, I'm going to burst out in tears right now.
Yes.
Nobody wants to see that. So just tell me I look great, and then I can laugh, smile, and hide everything that's going on in my life.
Totally. Oh my gosh.
That is how those 2 kind of got commingled in together. But I started off with Ms Thrifty Rose about 3 years ago. And I started off doing live sales. Randomly, my mom used to sew years ago and had a sewing machine she wanted to sell. So the person we were going to sell it to, she actually had a live sale that she shared. And I'm like, what is this? And it was a lady selling clothes. She's like, this is number so-and-so. And I'm like, this is super cool. I'm gonna wear most of my outfits once. How do I get into this? So I messaged the lady's page. I'm like, what are we doing? Teach me your ways. And she absolutely did, because it wasn't just one person doing live sales. It was an entire platform.
What?
So through that platform, she would have multiple people selling clothes at different times. You could schedule a sale, shop, and the items be shipped to your house. So I started with things in my closet because as a plus size woman, you're not always going to find great thrifted items.
I know.
A lot of times plus size, we hold on to them, or back then they just didn't make them in our size.
Yeah.
So with that, finding those items and being exposed to plus size thrifted fashion, I was like, yes, I have found my home. But going in the thrift stores, there's so many other things that need a second life.
Mm-hmm.
And I started getting attached. I'm like, these are my kids. I can't leave this. Do you see this? It's sparkly. It's vintage. I can't leave it. Somebody has to give this a second life. And through there, we continued the live sales, and it's been an amazing journey. It's been great. I love it.
That's so cool. It's so cool. I mean, so do you sell to like your friends on this platform, or is this like people that just have access to it that I don't, what is this platform called?
Facebook. So we would actually go live on Facebook. A lot of people still go live on Instagram as well. So it would just be a certain time you would go live, and we call it a bot that we would connect to Facebook that'll like track all the comments. So if somebody says, I want that purple jacket, it'll let me know you want the purple jacket. I wrap it up, ship it, send you your invoice, and ship it to you. So I did that for at least 2 years strong. Before I started realizing I kind of miss the people. The network I built, I mean, I've shipped to almost, maybe 40 different states in just a year's time. So people from all over, one person shares the live. I have somebody right now, and she is in somewhere super cold. She's like, where's my jacket? And I'm like, I don't even know where my label printer is. Like, let me live. So I ordered another label printer so I can get back into my live sales. But you meet people from all over. But missing the connection with Auntie Outside and the thrifting, I decided to start hosting something called Thrift Nic. So Thrift Nic is a thrifting picnic that we have here in Jacksonville, where I get all of my other thrift reseller friends, and we come together in it's a grassy area at a local brewery, and we all thrift. We all shop with each other. But to bring sustainability in, I have a rack that is for free items. So each person that attends can bring up to 5 free items, put it on the rack, and swap items with each other at no cost.
Oh, I was going to say, it sounds sort of like a clothing swap.
Yes. And people, when I tell you, first of all, nobody ever listens to me and brings just 5 items, but that's okay. So they have the best time swapping and just meeting other people like, girl, that's my blue sweater. Send me a picture when you have that blue sweater on, and they connecting and building community, because that's what it's all about.
I love that. I mean, it's so fun. You're keeping things out of the landfill and out of, who they're with, which is super cool. You can follow it.
You can follow it. You give it a second life.
Yeah.
I mean, something you really love, and you're just not going to wear again. You're not going to wear it again. So why not give it a second life with a friend or a new friend and let them take a spin in it?
Take a spin in it. Yeah. And then maybe you'll see it somewhere else. But that's fantastic. I love that. I love your mindset of that as like, give it another life, not just like reuse it or make sure that someone else gets it or something like that, but it's literally giving it a life. But I can see you like selling it and being like, just putting a spin on it. Like, this is, you were saying something like, this is vintage or this is super sparkly, and just like really selling it on your lives.
That's what it's all about. And some people would literally watch and just watch it. Like, they just felt comfort in watching it. And I'm like, why are y'all watching me and not shopping? This is weird. But they would say you have a gentle voice. So they would just fall asleep watching it. I mean, right. I guess almost like QVC back in the day. You just watch it just to watch it.
Do people do that?
They do. They do. I'm like, I'm not going to do it, but people do it.
How about that? Wow. There's better things to watch, but that's
absolutely
cool. But they're watching you and listening to you, and whether they buy or not, at least you got that pair of eyes.
And they're building community. I mean, they talk to each other in the comments like, oh, you should get this blue sweater. You don't even know this person. They're on the other side of the country.
Oh, it looks so
and
good.
Now y'all best friends.
That's super fun.
Yeah, I took on the term confidence curator because I started realizing that that's what I was putting together in women. Like, honestly, I don't have an opinion on if you look fat in it or if you look skinny in it. My opinion is, do you like it? Then you should absolutely wear it. And you should absolutely continue to do whatever it is you want to do with that body, because everybody has a body. And what you do with yours is none of my business. Are you happy? You're happy? I'm ecstatic.
Right? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, I totally get that. And it's so important too. Because when someone's trying something on, does this how does that make me look? And you're just like, how does it make you feel? Do
How
you
does it
like
make you
it?
feel?
That's all that matters. Because I know that if you're like in a dressing room, there'll be like, the mirrors everywhere and turn around and look at yourself in every angle. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I have clients that'll come do sip and shops with me. They'll shop and look around and they're like, how does it look? I'm like, well, I saw your face when you came out. Your face didn't look sure. So I'm gonna go with you're not sure. And that's exactly what you're gonna do when you get home and you put it on and you go out. You're like, mm, this isn't it. And that's okay.
right. I'm indifferent. That's
That's
me.
okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Me, I'm a plus size as well. If I'm trying something on, I'm like, it fits. I'm good.
And I personally hate shopping in the stores. You will not catch me shopping in the mall. I despise the mall. I don't like trying on clothes. I
Yeah.
don't. I will buy it in two sizes and return one before I try anything on. So yesterday, I think I had on my Target slides, my long socks, some tights, and a t-shirt from Podfest, and like a thick wool jacket. And I felt so confident yesterday. I don't know what it was. I just felt like I was in a good mood.
The
So
pod,
your clothes definitely shift your mood.
right. Totally.
Yeah.
I get that. So what is your what it so now you've done the lives, you've done the sip and shop, you've done the thrift Nick. Is there anything else? Do you do other things with the thrifting?
What else do I do?
And then
I
what's
used
your
to
favorite?
host, I used to host coffee and content as well, which was just another way to build community. So many people just want to co-work with other people. They just want some companionship. We all have work from home jobs. We want to work from home together. So coffee and content was a space to do that. But through it all, I think Thrift Nic has to be my baby because it's literally all me. It is my vision finally coming to life. I mean, this is something I've talked about for years before just doing it.
Mhm.
And it was probably my proudest event because I did it scared. I did it without a plan. I did it without a team. I did it without a doubt or a dollar.
Right.
My first one was in the midst of me being completely unemployed and laid off. And I was terrified. And it was amazing because none of that matters. Last year was my literal, what is the best that can happen year? I focused on no other options except the best. And here we are now. This is my third one, and I'm doing them every Art Walk Wednesday. So that's every first Wednesday in Jacksonville. And
Oh my
I
gosh, once a month? That's
once a
fantastic.
month. Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. I mean, so you have like this revolving wardrobe sort of, if you keep
Yes.
thrifting and, once a month, that's super cool.
Yeah, we'll have different themes. This one is a vintage type of love. So I'm hoping for more girly and flirty and vintagey clothing to come out. Next month is March. Who knows? Who knows? But I hope for a different theme every month. I do know what's the month before October?
September.
September. September will be Halloween costumes.
Huh?
Bring your old Halloween costumes. You're not going to wear it for a second year. Let's swap. Halloween costumes are expensive.
Wow.
Let's keep it going. So I'm super excited that is a newer announcement that it will be every month here in Jacksonville. And I hope to take it on the road over the summer as well. So
Oh,
what's the best that could happen?
that would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be so super cool. Just like pop up, pop up thrift Nick.
Pop up Thrift Nic.
Hey now. That's super cool. How well attended are these? Do you have like a few people or is it
So the first one was probably about 100, maybe,
what?
for the first one. Yeah, it surprised me, but at the same time, because I only focused on this is going to work, I couldn't be surprised because I'm like, it has to. Like, there's no other options. The second one was super cold. It was in December. It was freezing.
Okay.
And my vendors, I kept telling them, go home. It's okay. It's okay. They would not leave. We still had a good turnout. One of my vendors sold out of food, which was amazing. And I really do this for them. I do this for people. People are my passion. So to see them flourish and to see them become more confident in their booth setups and their swag with their advertisement, I couldn't ask for a better event. I couldn't ask for a better group of people to come together and really make this event happen.
Hmm. Oh my word. That's amazing. Good for you. I can't,
Yeah.
100 people, your first one?
Yeah.
How long did you start, how early did you start promoting it?
Maybe 2 months. Maybe. This one that's coming up in February has only been a week because I got the approval. I think I was at Podfest when I got the approval. And I was like, oh snap. That's in 2 weeks.
Awesome.
But yeah, about 2 months. But the best compliment from me is my vendors when they say this is the best event I've vended at, because I give them the blueprint. I'm like, this is your picture for you to promote. Here's your caption. Here's your cadence. You can do this 1 week out, this 2 week out. And they appreciate that because I'm pouring into their business just as much as they're pouring into me.
Mhm.
And the only way I can for that one. I don't even think they knew I was unemployed. I don't think they knew I was unemployed. No, because not many people knew I got laid off a couple months prior. And that entire event cost me $25 to put together because I paid for exactly 2 posters.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, I don't charge them a vendor fee because again, this is about
Yeah.
our community coming together. This is about me showing my passion to the world and my passion to the people that attend.
Mm, I love it. That's so beautiful. And it sounds like a great time.
It is. We have a good time. We have
Oh
a good
my.
time. This month we're having live music. We normally have a DJ. But yeah, I hope to really spice it up each month to keep it fresh. And Art Walk is a beautiful event. I believe it's like in year 10 or 11. So we have just a open air festival every first Wednesday of the month. And this venue is in the downtown
Mm-hmm.
area so people can attend both and they can just walk from one event to another and enjoy all our city has to offer.
Wow. I mean, so is it like off the side of the art walk or is it just the same day? Is it part of the art walk?
It's at a restaurant, maybe about 2 blocks up, but it is a part of it. We're just activating more spaces in our downtown area. So there's that, and there'll be like an after party. There's some bars around that people can walk to. So it's all in that area where you get a great mix in one night in the heart of the city.
That sounds like the best thing for real.
Yeah, you got to come visit. You got to come visit.
I might have to uh, get some cool clothes.
Yeah.
Cool kid clothes. And so I want to hear more about Auntie Outside.
she is uh, she is me. I am her. I forget that some days. But I am very much sugar, honey, sweetie pie. I am very much all things Southern. So when I'm out at events, I'm embracing people that way. Like, hey, honey, it's really good to see you. And I mean it. I love loving on people. So through that, it's built a community in itself of just people like, well, Auntie, what's going on tonight? Let me see. Let me see. Because I want to go out. I want to be safe. I want to have a good time. I'm too old to be standing in club lines. I would like to eat and I would like to sit down. These are the things I need for an enjoyable night. I would prefer if the music is not too loud, and I would prefer if I could be back in my bed by midnight, but those are preferences. So I understand.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, that's what I need for a great night. But through that, I've been able to affect different business owners and increase the numbers at their events that people are attending because I love live music. So anywhere good live music is, I have no problem promoting that and letting people know so they can come out and have a good time. So it's just for me another way to build community.
The podcast by the same name is, you were saying that you talked about um just topics that we didn't, sometimes we didn't learn about, or things that are bugging you, stuff like that.
Yes, we are the new aunties and uncles in society. Whether we like it or not, it is now our time because the next generation is watching and they are very much iPad and tablet kids. So the best we can, we have to reach them in whatever way we can. So I'm hoping the podcast can be a way to do that, to say, hey, like, these are things that the generation didn't pass down that they should have. These are things it's your turn to now do. So let's talk about it. Let's bring it to the forefront. Let's talk about finances. Let's talk about health. Let's talk about all of these things that we just don't talk about as a community. And that's not even a racial, black, white, in between. It is as a community. We do not talk. Everybody has a secret.
Which is so funny because we're so social. Like,
we're so social, but we're don't
not talking about real stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm hoping that Auntie Outside can continue to shed light on that with loving on people and building a community at the same time.
I love that. Oh my gosh. We need more of that. And how long have you been doing the podcast?
So I really think I've only been podcasting maybe about 2 years. Last year was my first year at Podfest. And I was like, what am I doing? Why am I here? But I've never in my life felt a greater pull to be at an event. I had no idea what it was, and I made every excuse in the world. And I still ended up there. So I went home and I threw my entire podcast out the window. It was called Highs and Lows. It did not resonate with me. It was not the direction I wanted to go in. And I felt like it was time to just let that go. Let's let it go. Let's pivot. There is power in the pivot. And last year was definitely my pivot year.
Awesome.
So Auntie Outside was born and she feels right. She feels like home. It feels like where I'm supposed to be. So I'm embracing it.
Very much like you.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you said that is you, but just, having had this conversation with you, I'm like, yeah, that's you.
It feels good.
Fantastic. And so, my brain, oh my goodness. So tell me, what was one of your favorite conversations on Auntie Outside?
Favorite conversation has been with a local photographer that I met. I met him out doing events, but it was just a beautiful conversation. He was a person when I met him for the first time, I was like, you are beautiful. And he was like, are you drunk? No, you're just absolutely beautiful. And I don't think men get told they're beautiful enough. So I'm going to tell you. And just getting outside, I always end my podcast with get outside and get out of other people's business. Because a lot of times we want to look at what everybody else doing and where they're going and doom scroll on social media. But why not us? The life we're seeing in front of us for everybody else, why not you? Why not me? So, yeah.
I love that so much. I mean, I really stop thinking about what other people are doing. Just, yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, so talking to respect who? What's his name?
Respect Mr. Walker.
Mr. Walker. Oh, okay. Respect Mr. Walker. As a photographer, I bet that he has a really different view of a lot of things. Doing what and who do you talk to about such and such? I'm in a new place, so I'm sort of starting to get to know that too, very, very slowly. But
nothing wrong with that. I'm telling you, I mean, networking events, like bringing people together is my passion, but nobody would ever believes me. But I do have a lot of imposter syndrome and I am a bit shy at times. Nobody ever believes me. I just cosplay as this confidence, okay? I promise I do. So I started going to networking events and they saw something in me to say, hey, can you kind of help us like host? Like as people come in and they're looking like frightened for their life, can you just kind of? And I was like, that's what I'm supposed to do.
You got me. Yeah.
I'll take it. So yeah, definitely just getting outside. I always end my podcast with get outside and get out of other people's business. Because a lot of times we want to look at what everybody else doing and where they're going and doom scroll on social media, but why not us? The life we're seeing in front of us for everybody else, why not you? Why not me? So, yeah.
I love that so much. I mean, I really like stop thinking about what other people are doing. Just yeah. And I
Yeah.
mean, so talking to the what respect who? What's his name?
Respect Mr. Walker.
Mr. Walker. Oh, okay. Respect
Mhm.
Mr. Walker. As a photographer, I bet that he has a really different view of a lot of things.
He does. And I told him, like, there's events that I'll be at and see his recap after. And I'm like, where was I? Like, that's a whole different way I looked at that event. Like, I was actually there, and that's not how I saw it. So he brings a different aspect to it that's just so beautiful. And I'm like, this is my city. Like, it's like a baby. It's like my baby is growing up right before my eyes.
Oh my
And
God.
sometimes you don't see it because you're living it.
Yep.
So when somebody else shows it to you, like, there is growth here. There's growth happening. So yeah.
Even if it's just small, like community growth, it's not maybe not the whole city or businesses or anything like that, but community is strong, and that's where it's really at. People supporting people and caring what happens.
That's it.
I love that. I just love that you said, you end your podcast with get outside.
If you're sad, go outside. If you're mad, go outside. Start looking at the sky. Just look around you and see how many things don't revolve around you. Everything is so independent of you when you look around. From the grass to the sky to the gate to the fence to everything around you, none of it has anything to do with you. So why is it your focus?
Cool. I just I'm so loving this. I'm loving this conversation and learning so much about you, Alyce. I just think I I had a different idea about who you were. Like the whole like imposter syndrome thing, I totally would not have gotten that. But I think also people asking you to like host or assist someone who's totally freaking out, like you would be like, let me take that on, like I will help you. I will help you. And that
That will help me
it helps
a
you,
lot.
it helps you to push yourself to get out there
Absolutely.
and to get past any imposter syndrome or whatever. Like I'm the same way, like at Podfest, I volunteer because
Mhm.
people come up to me and I don't have to be like 2,000 people. How am I like, I'm just going to walk up to someone and be like, hi, I'm Amy. But everyone walking up to me, I'm like, hey, how's it going? I can totally turn it on. But then the other way around, I'm like,
I'm gonna tell you a secret. Don't tell anybody. This is just between me and you. My glasses are my secret superpower. So I have like 100 pairs, like I said, and I change them all the time. But I do that so people are like, "Oh, cool glasses.
right?
Thank you so much. Who are you? What do you do? How can I help you? What would it? I want to know all the things."
Yeah, it works.
So they also help people come up to me. And then I sell pens. I have a lot of pens. My pen board is up here. Sometimes they're inappropriate. Sometimes they're funny, but people like to read them. So I'm like, read my pen and then don't ask me any other questions. But how can I help you? Tell me all the things.
Right? That's so great. Just like an instant icebreaker.
Icebreaker. That's what it is. It's a great icebreaker.
Very cool.
And I suggest that to people with social anxiety, if you are a person that's scared to go out there, that's just nervous about going to an event, maybe the first time you go sit in the parking lot, that's a step. The second time you go in and not talk to anybody.
Mhm.
And that third time, maybe you challenge yourself to talk to two people. But you could challenge yourself.
I like that a lot. That's really good advice.
Yeah, that's what I give people for Podfest when they're talking about their first time going and they're scared. And people are like, oh my gosh, you've been here forever. No, no, no. This is my second year. It's my second year.
Right.
I did a lot of networking there, but we had the Black Podcasters meetup, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you do this and you do." No, no, no. I pushed a button on Hoover. That is all I was capable of. That is all I was responsible for, was pushing a button on Hoover. That is it. Like, I am in no way affiliated with Podfest. I am a button pusher, and that is what you should all do as well if you want to.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, this is super fun. I just love learning about you, and I love also how the podcast sort of birthed the thrifting business. I just think that's super fun that they're all commingled. But when I say the word sustainability, Alyce, what does that mean to you?
Sustainability means longevity. It means something, or I mean, I could say someone that can just be around for a very long time, whether that's through taking care of it, whether that's pouring into it, whether we're talking about clothes and it's washing it or taking care of the dry cleaning instructions. Sustainability is about longevity. So with friendships, with relationships, with podcasting, with all the things we do, I think they are sustainable, and that's what I think it means to me.
And then how can people find you, follow you, through you, and maybe go to a Thrift Nic?
Well, if you're interested in any of my events, those are going to be on AuntieOutside.com. I know a lot of people are migrating from social media, so I am working on keeping my website presence up. So I have AuntieOutside.com for all of things outside. And then for thrifting, I have Ms Thrifty Rose, which will link you to my live sales when I start back doing them very, very, very soon, or scheduling a sip and shop with me if you are local. And I'm also on all social media platforms under Auntie Outside or Ms Thrifty Rose.
Oh my gosh, you manage both of them.
Woo! It's not easy.
It's a
It is not.
job.
It is not easy. It is not easy. It is not easy. But there are tools.
Right.
There's help.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so auntie.outside.com, or
Mm-hmm.
you said Auntie Outside, or
AuntieOutside.com or MsThriftyRose.com.
and is it it's MS Thrifty Rose?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
MS Thrifty Rose. Okay. And so you're on all the platforms, so like
All
TikTok,
the things.
Instagram, Facebook. I don't
I'm
even
just
know.
getting on YouTube, which is also exhausting. I literally put in my bio, these episodes are by whenever. Like whenever I feel, there's no bi-weekly or bi-monthly here. It's by whenever I feel like. That's all I got.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. No pressure. No pressure.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. So, Alyce Rose, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate all that you're doing. I think that the podcast is so important. It's such a great topic, and thrifting is obviously just such a cool thing. And I love that um that you promote thrifting and doing it fashionably, and the Thrift Nic. Oh my gosh. What a cool thing. What a cool thing.
Thank
I mean, it's a
you.
monthly activity. That's so cool.
It
And
doesn't feel real. It really feels like a dream.
yeah, and it's a time that people are already planning for the art walk.
Yeah. Because what's the best that could happen?
It's, you're gonna have so many people. That's
Yep.
the best part. And everyone's gonna walk away with new clothes. New
That's
old
it.
clothes.
New to them.
Cool. All right. Um, I really appreciate spending this time with you and getting to know you, Alyce. This is super fun.
It's been amazing. I'm so glad we encountered each other at Podfest. You just never know the connections you're going to make. So, shameless plug for that.
Yeah.
If
Go
you're
to
thinking
Podfest,
about
everyone.
podcasting, go to Podfest.
Sure.
I just want to take a second to thank my guest again for speaking with me and sharing such great information. I love having these conversations with folks. I also want to thank Buzzsprout for hosting the podcast, for Jane Bolduck and her music genius, for Becca Coffron and her award-winning artwork. And thank you for listening. I appreciate that so much. Please check out the show notes for any links and extra information. And if you would like to follow my guest and find out more about them, I'm sure they would love the follow. And if you don't mind leaving a rating or review wherever you're listening, and just help to get this podcast in front of new eyes, that would be amazing. I would really love that. And feel free to reach out to me on the socials and let me know what you're thinking. And if you would like to be a guest on the podcast, please let me know that. I would love to have a conversation with you about sustainability. All right. Thank you again. I hope you have a great rest of the week.
There'll come a day, my mama told me, when I find love to have and hold me, a heart that's strong and so sincere. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? Oh, tell me, get there from here, 'cause here and now I'm so far down that mercy's bound to find me. We'll find a way to soothe the sickness, we'll heal the hate with sweet forgiveness. Wages of war will disappear. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? I wonder, how do I get there from here? Yeah, 'cause here and now I'm so far down, and mercy's bound to find me. When that state of grace has finally found me, well, there'll be music, ooh, and good friends around me, yeah, yeah. And I'll just smile through happy tears and wonder,